there's a serious topic that I think needs addressing, and you guys can let me know your thoughts down below. And red light for seriousness? I don't know. I was feeling red today, that's all. But, so there's an important topic that I think we should cover today on the video, on the channel. I think that Wizards is making too much stuff. I think they're overloading us with the stuff that's coming out recently. I think there's too many products coming out, and I think that it's going to crash the market, actually, in general. Especially with the amount of reprints happening. So, just to recap, or just to put this into display so you can tell how much is actually coming out nowadays, let's talk about the sets that are coming out in the next, let's see, February, March, April, May, or March, April, May, June, July. So, in the next 5 months, we have Mystery Boosters, LGS Edition. We have Ikoria. We have M21. So those are like 3 sets. You know, that's the normal stuff right there. That's normal. Then, in addition to those, we have Commander Legends. We have... Actually, Commander Legends might be August, so add a month to our list. We also have... if you don't know what Commander Legends is, it's a draftable commander set that's coming out with a ton of new commanders. We'll talk more about it on the channel later on, but I think it actually is going to be a pretty fun set. And it's got 70 new legendary creatures for commanders, so that's going to be fun. We have those 4. We also have... What's the thing called? Jumpstart? What is it? I don't know. It's coming out a week before M21. It's, if you don't know what it is, shoot, I gotta look up the name. We have Jumpstart, so that is putting us at 5 in the next 5 months. 5 things. Oh, that's not it, though. You thought that was going to be it? I thought it would be 2. We also have Commander stuff coming out for Ikoria, so that's, I would call that 6. We also have, well, in August, so let's say the next 6 months, in August we're also going to have the Commander 2020 decks, the 4 Commander decks, the pre-cons that come out every year, and we also had Unsanctioned, which is an unset that came out, 2 decks, you know, just kind of like Unstable, but it comes in like a bundle pack kind of thing, so we've had that as well. So that's 8 things in the next 6 months. And Unsanctioned already came out, so... wait, no it didn't. No, it did not. So that's 8 products in the next 6 months of Magic the Gathering. You see the problem now? So, not only is that an issue, that's a lot of stuff for us to keep up with as consumers. That's a lot of stuff for us to keep buying. And, in addition to that, who knows how many more secret layers we're going to have in the recent coming, because we just had 5 in a weekend. So... I'd add that to the list as 9. Like, who knows how many of those are going to come out. It's just a lot as us, as consumers, for us to be able to buy all these things and show them off to our friends or YouTube channels to buy everything and show them off to you guys. It's tough. It's a lot of money and it's just crazy. Now, so another problem that's going to happen is Jumpstart has a lot of reprints in it. If you haven't seen a video about Jumpstart, I personally don't have one out yet. I'm going to make one probably later this week. But Jumpstart is basically a 20 card pack, so the packs are going to be worth more probably. It's probably going to be more like a Masters pricing on those packs. They come with a bunch of reprints. There's like 500 reprints in the set. And, I don't know, they're themed packs or something like that. But the point is, it has over 500 reprints. So if they start printing all these expensive cards from the more recent times, obviously they're not going to reprint reserved cards because those are reserved on the reserve list. They can't print them again. I mean, they could if they want to be jerks, but they can't. But that is the issue. we have 500 reprints coming out in one set. We also have the Mystery Booster LGS edition coming out, which also has a bunch of reprints. It's like a 2,000 card set that's got so many reprints. All these reprints, that's the real problem, is that with the amount of cards coming out, the amount of reprints that are going to happen, it's going to crash all the card prices. So if you have a card that's worth maybe 20, 30 bucks, it might get reprinted and then suddenly drop to 15 or 10. Like, it's gonna happen for all the cards too. It's not just one reprint. It's gonna happen, every card that's reprinted, it's pretty much gonna happen to all of them. So honestly, I see a huge problem in it. Although for just players, regular players, you guys might like. I mean, I'm excited for all this new product, but at the same time, I'm overwhelmed. Like, there's just too much coming out. They need to separate it. They need to slow it down a bit. They need to stop like trying to make money, or as much money as possible, and think about us as consumers and what we can afford to buy, and produce it in a way where we won't get overwhelmed and not want to buy it because there's just too much stuff coming out. And honestly, although they're making a ton of stuff just to make money at this point, it's gonna backfire on them because not everyone's gonna be able to buy everything because they're making too much stuff at once, so less people are gonna buy some of the products. And in the end, they're making more, but they're also not making as much as they could be making. So if it's really just about the money for them, they're kind of screwing up on their end as well. So, moral of the story. Too much stuff coming out right now. It's going to affect the market. If you have any crazy expensive cards, I would almost suggest selling them if you're not going to use them. That's personally what I'm doing. Like, if I'm not using a card, I'm basically selling it because I just don't know what's going to happen with future cards. I don't know what's going to get printed. I don't know what's going to get reprinted. There's just too many factors to hold on to cards at this point that aren't like vintage cards, because the vintage cards will always go up in price. That's just how that works, because they're old, they're sought after, everything like that. They're limited. There's not many of them made until you get to like Ice Age and stuff, and then they start getting a little bit cheap. But anything like reserved list, I mean, anything like revised and before, that's all of that stuff's going to go up in price in the end. But anything past that at this point, especially with like once you get into like Lauren and that kind of thing, anything from like 2000, I don't know, I want to say like 2003, 2004, anything past that point is pretty much just going to drop in price, because especially if they're reprinted. If they're not reprinted, the expensive cards will hold their value. But my point is, anything that's getting reprinted is going to lose value. So if you have cards that you're not currently using that are kind of from the newer sets or from the non-vintage sets, I would pretty much suggest selling them so that you're not risking losing a ton of money. Although some of the cards, it's just, and I am the same way, it's just fun to have the cards, you know, it's fun to have the cards to build with, have them in your collection, whatever, it's fun to play with them. So at the same time, if you're really into the game and you're just here to play and you don't really need the money, hold on to your cards. But if you need money, or well, I mean, everyone needs money, but if you need, you know, if you've got a ton of money invested in cards and like, and you're not even going to use them, you know you're not going to use them, maybe just consider selling some of them and, you know, getting some money back so that you have less risk in Magic in general. Because honestly, I don't know, especially with this year, with the coming year, or with the coming few 9 sets, 9 products, I don't know what could happen. Anything could happen, anything could get reprinted, anything could screw the market entirely. So just be careful what you're buying and when you're buying it and that kind of thing. Just because you don't want to, I mean, this goes for everyone, you don't want to lose a ton of money just because you bought something. Like, obviously you probably care about how much money you have in your pocket, so maybe if you have expensive cards, moral of the story, maybe sell them if you're not using them, or keep them if you really want them, but they might drop in price due to the possible reprintage of them. So just keep that in mind. That's pretty much what this video is saying. Let me know what you guys think down below about all this, like all the crazy new amounts of product that is coming out. And yeah, let me know down below what you guys think. What are your thoughts on it? Are you excited for all this stuff? I mean, I'm excited for all this stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm super excited for all this new product, but it can just be a little overwhelming at times, that's all. But let me know down below your thoughts. And a couple things before we wrap up this video. I do have do have a bit of an announcement. I am selling custom commander decks. The links will it will be linked down below. You guys can check them out. We have tons of decks. Well, not just commander. We have standard, pioneer, commander, modern, all those good stuff. You can check out the link down below. Anything from literally $25 to, I mean, if you go on a really competitive deck, up to like $1,500. But you know, there's cheap commander decks on there. Commander decks on there are typically from like 30-ish to 110. So if you're interested in something for yourself or for someone else, maybe a cheap little introduction to Magic kind of deck, or just a little birthday, holiday surprise thing, you guys can check that out down below. Hopefully you find something on there you like and maybe get it. We also have merch if you want to help support the channel. Check that out. And Patreon. Patreon is the best way to support the channel directly. If you go down below, sign up for any tier, you get rewards, you get packs every month if you sign up for a high enough tier. Sweet stuff on there, don't miss out. Helps out the channel a lot too. I really appreciate all of my Patrons, so shout out to them. Michael Cobb, TJ, and Tony Z. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. And the best way to support the channel at all, as much as you might think, it doesn't really help that much, is just subscribing and liking the video. It helps out a ton. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Make sure you leave your thoughts on this topic down below. I will see you guys later. Peace out, guys. See ya.